We begin with a look at exports and the remarkable pace U.S. beef is on through the year's halfway point. According to data released by USDA and compiled by the U.S. Meat Export Federation in June, exports topped $1 billion for the fifth time this year. June beef exports totaled more than 130,000 metric tons. That's down slightly from the record volume posted in May, but up 16% year over year. Export value was $1.05 billion in June, also down slightly from the May record, but still 31% higher than last year. Looking at the first half of 2022, beef exports are up 6% overall from a year ago, which is exciting news considering the supply chain challenges that are still impacting the global marketplace.
In the global marketplace in 2021, we obviously set records, up 15% in volume and $10.6 billion in value. And we're seeing a lot of headwinds this year, even more than what we saw last year. We got a strong US dollar. We've got inflationary impacts just like we do here domestically. And the other key thing that we're seeing is these challenges in the supply chain, whether it be shipping, whether it be West Coast ports. And it's not just a US problem, this is a global supply chain problem or opportunity. But despite all of that, business is still breaking records. We're up again this year. We're forecasting between 11.5 to 12 billion in exports for 2022. So it kind of makes me think that if we didn't have these challenges, especially the supply chain challenges, just how good could it be? But that being said, we'll work through it. We always do. There's a lot of focus on getting the supply chain cleaned up, and hopefully we'll have more tailwinds at the end of the year versus headwinds currently.
We're really capitalizing on strong demand throughout Asia, whether it's Korea, Japan, or China. There are consumers there that want more U.S. beef. But for a long time, we didn't have access there. While the demand was there, the access wasn't. So we weren't able to sell our beef into those markets, or we just didn't have a competitive foothold there. With Korea, we had a 40% tariff on our beef. With Japan, we had a 38.5% tariff. And with China, we had no access at all. And even though consumers wanted our products, it took trade policy to help open that up. So at NCBA, that's really where we focus. We look at opportunities and try to partner with the information we have from the U.S. Meat Export Federation and from other industry experts to look at opportunities to sell our beef into these markets. Then we identify the barriers of entry into those markets, whether it's from tariffs or non-tariff barriers like BSE restrictions or hormone restrictions or other restrictions like that aren't based in science. And then we work with our government to remove those barriers. We've done that through trade agreements, through executive agreements, and a lot of different trade policies. But really, we're just trying to identify where those barriers are and then work with proper authorities to remove them. But we also work very closely after the fact to build consumer trust and really telling the story of U.S. cattle producers in those markets, because those consumers, they want to eat the same high quality beef that we serve our families,